Hello, my fellow humans. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're new here, thanks so much for joining us. We're all here sharing this human experience together, and please know that your time, your energy, and your presence are a true gift and a blessing. I'm deeply honored to be here sharing it with you today. Please remember that as I do things differently on this channel, there might be triggering statements that do arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, while keeping in mind that triggers can be a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journeys. And if the messages happen to resonate with you along the path, it would truly mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. So today we are getting into a popular demand reading, and that is, what's the gossip about you right now? It's been a while since I've done one of these, so I was definitely getting requests and felt called to doing it today. And I'm called to using the Talisman Oracle by Nora Paskaleva, I think is how you say her name. Great deck. I love this deck. It's such a beautiful deck. I was called to using these feathers today. Yeah, so I don't think I have any announcements. My throat is doing a lot better for those of you that have been following what happened this last week. It's totally random. But yeah, swallowing is a lot easier today. My voice is it's a little bit froggy, I guess, but I do feel a lot better. It still is a little sore, but yeah. So for those of us that have just had those moments where we believe that things have happened to us and all of a sudden we're like, oh my gosh, we did something wrong. Please remember that life is going to always keep lifing, and it is in no way, shape, or form a punishment to our existence. That's what this 3D world is. It's just a very heavy vibration that we're in. It's very dense, and sometimes some dense things are going to happen to us, but it doesn't mean that we're undergoing punishment in any way, shape, or form from any divine being or because we have misstepped on our journey. So that's just a reminder to those of you that need to hear that. Let's hop to our prayer and we'll get this reading underway for you today. My beloved source, this prayer is for any and all who come onto this reading, whether it's for the entire time or for a moment's time. I have this feeling that's sitting upon my heart, asking to invite in vulnerabilities for each and every one of us. It's ever increasingly difficult to be vulnerable in a world that is selfish and demanding that everyone else is right and that somehow everyone else is wrong. And this feeling that we get to be smug as a collective when we feel like we're proven right and when someone else is wrong. Knowing that this is actually our emotional ego acting out. Continuing this idea of separateness. Continuing to keep us isolated. To lean into the soul is to remember that each person has their own path. Each person has their own journey to attend to. And their own beliefs to follow. And their own ideas to experiment with and to test along this journey and this path. And with that means that there are going to be people who disagree and people who don't accept or want to go along with another's ideas, and that's okay. So today I ask for vulnerability and acceptance. Acceptance of what is. A reminder that acceptance isn't necessarily passive. It can actually be a very active thing. But acceptance is not being a bully. Acceptance is not rolling over and being a doormat either. That acceptance can help us take a step back and see things from the outside looking in, which means that there's a much bigger picture than what each of us are seeing through our lens. And that if we choose to observe through that bigger lens, that we might in turn be brought to a much deeper truth. Or even being able to understand ourselves even a little bit better while letting go of the emotional ego that has a hold on all of us. No matter where we are, no matter what we're going through, today I ask for the open heart to be vulnerable for ourselves and to others, and not be afraid of who we are, what we believe, and what we're going after in this life. And likewise, find a way into a space so that we can also cheer and encourage others to be that for themselves. Because in a world that's so restrictive, it's an act of rebellion for us to choose to go against the grain and encourage individuality while also seeking unity. As these words are spoken upon this tribe and over this reading today, so shall they be. Amen, aho, ase. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. Oh my gosh, so I do have to say that today I was walking my dog. I took her for a walk later in the morning than I normally go. And my neighbor, there's an elderly couple here on the corner who are my neighbors. And the gentleman that lives there, he was out playing his electric guitar this morning. And the first song I heard was the very end of Living It Up at the Hotel California. Such a lovely place. Such a lonely place. Right? Like, what is that? The Eagles? Yeah. But then the next song that he played was Tennessee Whiskey. And when I first started this journey, this spiritual journey, my love song to myself was Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton. And it's a country song. I grew up on country, but I'm not like super into country or anything like that. But it was just such a beautiful song, and for it to just like, basically I walked into it. And what's hilarious, well, I don't know if this is hilarious, but my mom, her favorite song in the world was Hotel California. And so it just felt so synchronistic, like leaving when I did, even though I left late. Like I was worried, I was like, oh, I should have gone out earlier, I should have, gotten up right away. And yet, if I had been so rigid to my schedule, I would have missed this beautiful synchronicity that I got to experience going out there. And definitely felt like a message from my mom. It felt like a message from my guides. And I got to see this lovely old man. And I'm not trying to be ruthless or mean or anything, because he's a much older gentleman, playing the guitar in such a phenomenal way. I mean, it was just absolutely lovely to listen to him play the guitar while I was on my walk, and I heard him the whole time I was walking, and it was just really cool and just a neat experience. So I feel like it's just a reminder to let yourself experience the fluidity of what life has to offer. Even though it's good for us to stick to routines, there's importance in allowing ourselves freedom of expression as well, within and outside of those routines. Okay, so let's get to it. What's the gossip on you? What is the gossip on you? Okay, thank you. Whoa. What is the gossip on you? Now I got that song stuck in my head. Pile 1, what is the gossip on you? What oracle card will help us better understand this message today? Source for pile 1. What is the gossip on you? Thank you. Pile number 2, what is the gossip on you? What oracle card will help us better understand this message today for pile number 2? What is the gossip on you? Thank you. Pile number 3, what is the gossip on you? That's the one. Thank you, source. All right. Collective energy on the bottom of the deck. I love this. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, source. I'm just excited because I wasn't going to tell you guys that story about going out, but then they poked at me, and we have divine guidance coming in, and that's so synchronistic to the story that I just told you about how sometimes it's important for us to allow fluidity, even if we have strict routines, because there's guidance everywhere we go, right? And I said that it felt like a message from my mom, from my guides, from source. That's divine guidance. That's, oh, I love that. Okay, so there's more to this, what the gossip is on you, but I do feel like source just is reminding you that focusing on yourself and focusing on what you can bring to the table and focusing on listening to your guidance and listening to your intuition is going to be the most beneficial and fruitful thing that you can do for yourself, okay? Now, what people are gossiping about you is that they recognize that you are incredibly connected. Like, there's no denying it. And this could be in a good way, it could be in a bad way as well. But there are certain things that are happening around you whenever you're around that people can't deny. Like, suddenly, all of a sudden, maybe you're out with family and all day long, everywhere you go, 111 is following you everywhere. 444, 888, whatever numbers follow you. All of a sudden, and it's like, so much so that even your family members are pointing it out. Like, there's another 111. There's another one. Like, what the heck? You go to the store and you spend 2111, right? Like, it's wild. And they're sitting there saying, like, this only happens when you're around. Or like maybe you go on a walk and there's a lake and you're around a pond, and every time you're around, this has happened to me before and this is what they're showing me, but like the fish pop up out of the lake and they like come to greet you. Or even the animals, maybe you are someone that really connects with animals, and so maybe wherever you go walking out in nature, like animals come to you. They come, like you'll see deer on the path, or foxes, or bunnies, or even frogs and lizards and snakes, or maybe you see wolves. I mean, whatever, right? You could see whatever. And it's like people have noticed it and people have mentioned it to you too. Like, this only happens when I'm with you. I never see anything like this, and it has to be you. And this is what people are gossiping about when it comes to you. And again, we'll kind of get more in depth in it during each pile, whether this is a good thing or if it's not such a good thing, because not everybody is excited about how connected you are. There are people who covet that. There are people who are jealous. There are people who are irritated by it, thinking that they don't have it too. But, you know, I've mentioned this so many times before, and I'll mention it again. Intuition is a muscle, right? Use it or lose it. You can either tap in, tune in, and practice with it regularly, or you can distrust it and let everyone else be an influence in your life. And the minute that you let everyone else be an influence in your life, your intuition, your higher self, your guides, everybody's like, okay, we'll just let you take over. You know, I wish you luck. We'll be here if you need us. I wish you luck, right? Like, and what's that song that's coming in? I wish you well. I wish you well. Right? Like, that's exactly what our guides will say if we just choose to ignore them. Hey, I wish you well. I want nothing but good things for you, and I really hope you do it on your own. But if you start stumbling or whatever, just know that we're here. We'll always reach out a hand for you. And so there are some people here who really have a problem with how connected you are. Like, they can't stand it. They can't, like, why are you so special? Why is it that you're so connected? Why do you have this gift? Or maybe even the question of is, how the hell, excuse the expression, it just came out, whoa, but we'll go with it. How the hell did you ever even figure out you had this gift? And because maybe they grew up in a very, a time where things just weren't discovered like that. You know, like if you're thinking about older people, like maybe your parents, your grandparents even, like older generations, if they had gifts, they had to hide them because of being ostracized, judged, cast out, or ridiculed along the way. And so maybe at some point they did realize they had a gift too, but they got, you know, judged harshly for it, and they felt like they had to close off to it. And so it's almost like there's this essence of some people are absolutely in awe of your gift, and they're talking about how gifted you are, how talented you are. Like, go to them, they'll have the advice. Like, go to them, they will help you get to the next level on your journey. And then there are other people who are like, oh, I can't believe that they have this gift. Like, why don't I have their gift? I deserve it better than they do, and this, that, and the other, comparing lives. And we all know how that works. It just doesn't work out well. And so, but I do feel like this is such a synchronistic card to come out, especially when I was talking about I felt called to doing this reading today. You know, I love you guys. Let me just say this. I love you guys so much, and I'm here for you guys. And so definitely will do the readings that you enjoy. But if I had to pick and choose the readings that I personally love, it's the ones that are like the ancestor readings and the angels readings and the shadow work readings. Those are my absolute all-time favorite. And so I like to incorporate those onto the channel. And I feel like its source knows that. And so that's why I end up being so different from other readers. And it's nothing against them, right? I think I watch a few readers. I only have a select few that I trust. But there's certain readers that I watch too, and very rarely, because sometimes we're not very objective when we're doing our own readings. We get biased or we cloud our own judgment. And so I also do my own readings for myself, and I've done that for a long time. And I do a lot of automatic writing when it comes to my own readings, which has helped me let go of the emotional ego and directing my own tarot. But I also do a lot of shadow readings for myself, and those are the ones that have set me free from my journey. And so I love that Source incorporates those very same energies no matter what type of reading that I get to do, or that I choose to do, or that I'm called to do, that's going to come out. And I feel like this is important because I feel like so many of you are actually shadow workers, and you're here to share the light through the darkness, which can be very scary for so many people. Like, we want to deny the darkness because we've been taught to believe that it's something that's very scary. Like, we shouldn't dabble in the darkness. We don't know what we're going to connect with. But maybe, you know, if you look at feminine energy, feminine's ruled by the shadow, right? And masculinity ruled by the light. And they coexist with one another, and that's where the power comes from, is when we allow them to fluidly coexist with one another. But that's something that happens to sometimes get cast aside because of the fear of the shadow. And some people will just immediately turn away from the shadow itself. Like, oh no, if it's not rainbows, butterflies, and unicorn poop, then it's not worth my time. Like, I can't absolutely listen to things that are necessarily dark shadow. But that's where personally, and I know some of you that I have been so blessed to chat with, we've found our deepest healing by traversing the shadows within ourselves and the shadows within the world too, and realizing that there's actually not anything scary there when we finally face that fear within us. And so I do feel like for you as a collective that this is something that also comes up for a lot of people. You might be a divine guided shaman, healer, or earth angel, starseed, whatever you might identify with, or a mixture of all of those. And you bring this reflective mirror back to people, the parts of themselves that they absolutely refuse to look at. And I do feel like a lot of people lash out at you because of that. And then they go and they tell people like, oh my gosh, you won't believe what they did to me. But it's not anything that you did. It's not even anything that you said. It's the fact that your soul works heavily in the shadow because that's where it garners the most information for your journey. Okay, so this says, it's best to watch out for a sign before moving forward. You're ready to enjoy the fruits of your hard work, but don't decide to embrace any one aspect of your life just yet. Wait for some more information to emerge before making that choice. This card can also mean that it's best to use your intuition to make the final call, right? We were talking about intuition rather than your rational mind. Try to read the signs carefully and trust your instincts. Although it may be frustrating to wait, proceeding when the time is right will be much more rewarding. And the affirmation here is, I am patient. And so I feel like that's the thing, like you're super patient with people, and people talk about that as well. But I feel like the main thing is that people cannot deny how connected to source you are. Like there's certain things that happen around you that appear like just stupid good luck, right? Like how is it that you have this absolutely brilliant good luck, and for you, you don't see it that way. You see it as, this is me being in alignment. This is how things work when I'm in alignment, when I'm trusting my guidance, when I'm trusting source, when I'm trusting my guides, when I'm listening to the path in front of me. This is what happens when we walk in alignment. And everyone outside of you seeing it as absolutely incredible good luck and recognizing your gift. And some people, again, are really excited about it. And there are some people that are not. What a powerful energy to come in on your reading right off the bat as a collective energy. So let's get this set up here. And you guys might hear, I did wait a little bit longer to do this reading today because the mowers are here. And I waited until they finished this area where I'm at, because it gets really loud when they're here and they go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because they're trying to make those really cool lines in the ground or whatever, and they're really good at it. And it's not that they take a long time, it's just that this area behind me is so big. It's got to be a couple acres. So it's pretty massive, and it still takes them a while to do it. All right, let's make sure we're in frame here. Let me turn this a little. All right, for pile 1, we do have this dice with Pluto on it for you to choose from. Or we have this feather, which I got in Rockport. Pile 2, we have this dice with the moon on it. Or we have this feather, which I believe is a dove feather that I got in Mesa. It could be a duck feather too, I don't know. There were a lot of doves and there were a lot of ducks there, so. And these really crazy looking black and white ducks that had red eyes. They were wild looking. I loved them. And, oh, well, pile 3, we have this duck feather, which is why I picked it up, because I was talking about the other duck feather. We have this duck feather for you to choose from. And I don't know if that's going to pick up the color change. It turns from green to blue to purple. That I also got in Mesa, or you have this dice with the sun on it to choose from. Okay, so we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And whichever pile you feel called to, that should be the one for you, and I will see you there. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with Pluto on it, or perhaps you felt called to this feather. Wow, if I could pick it up. Or maybe you were drawn to this card during the shuffle. This is going to be your reading on what's the gossip about you. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're new here, thanks so much for joining us. We're all here sharing this human experience together. Please know that your time, your energy, and your presence is a true gift and a blessing. I'm deeply honored to be here sharing it with you today. I do things differently here, so there might be triggering statements that arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, while keeping in mind that triggers can be a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journeys. And if the messages happen to resonate with you today, it would truly mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. So with that, we're going to go ahead and hop to it and find out, what is the gossip about you, pile 1? What is the gossip about you, pile 1? Source, what would you like to share with us today? for pile one. What is the gossip about you? Whoa. So there goes your feather. I don't know if there's, let me see if I can set it up here, if it'll stay right there. All right. So I do just want to quickly mention that because of the nature of this reading, that we are looking into how other people are talking about you, how they see you. This is in no way, shape, or form the truth of who you are, okay? So keeping that in mind moving forward. All right, we've got the 10th house. We do have Cancer energy, and we have the North Node. So far starting out pretty positive here. This could be someone that you work with or a group of people you work with, coworkers and such, boss. But what they're gossiping about right now is how creative you are at work and how you are doing exactly what you were meant to be doing. You're just doing a really good job of it. You were really caring. You're really understanding of people's needs. Some of you could work. It's interesting because I got right away this loud message came in of like senior homes or looking out for seniors or doing something for seniors, where it's like you really need to have good people skills along with empathy for the situation that's happening. So like maybe insurance claims for seniors, or you know, maybe Meals on Wheels or something like that. That's just a really specific message that's coming in here. But if that's not resonating, it's okay. Do you feel like that there's something about your job that is about anticipating others' needs, or anticipating what it is that, like, actions you need to take in order to move projects forward or to finish things, whatever the situation is? There's definitely like a sense of using your intuition and trusting your intuition as you move forward. You may also resonate with the collective message that we had at the beginning of the reading, which was absolutely insane and so phenomenal. So that's time-stamped in the description box. If you feel called to watching that, you will find that there. But also that people are talking about how you're doing like what you're meant to be doing. They can't picture you doing anything else. Like, it just works for you. Like, whatever you've chosen to go towards and put your time, your energy, your effort into, it suits you. It fits you. It seems like it's healed you. It's given you new life. It's renewed your soul. It's renewed your spirit. And it is who you are, and you show up consistently. You never complain about what you're doing. You never talk bad about what you're doing. Like, even if things get difficult, you might vocalize the difficulties that you're going through, but you always manage to come back with like, yeah, it might be difficult, but I'd rather deal with these difficulties any day than to go back to the way things were before. So I do feel like you really truly enjoy what it is that you're doing, and people recognize that, and that's something that people around you are gossiping about, is how much you're really enjoying what it is that you're doing. There's like a lot of recognition that's coming with this position too, and that could be that maybe you are becoming a manager, or you're moving up, you're getting a raise, you're getting a promotion. It could be anything really, but I do feel like that people are just really surprised because you, why do I hear that? I came, I saw, I conquered, you know, and it wasn't like something to conquer for you, but that's kind of the energy that you have about you, is that you just here to kick butt and take names, and you're doing just that in a really, really strong, empowered way, and you're very dedicated to what it is that you're doing. Let's get some more on it. I'm going to be using the Tarot Marseille. We're actually going to ask for some advice later in the reading as well from the Osho Zen, okay? So what's the gossip about? Let me try that again. What's the gossip about you, pile one? Source, what more would you like to share with us today for pile one? Okay, thank you. What's the gossip about you, pile one? Yeah, you have a ton of resolve. You're very, you're very persistent. You've persevered through something here that people, it's not that they didn't expect you to persevere over it. I just feel like people are like, I couldn't have done what pile one did. Like, there's no way. Like, I'm glad that they shouldered that responsibility, because I don't think that I could have. What's the gossip about pile one, source? Yeah, it just feels really good. Yeah, this is interesting. The 8 and the 9 of Wands coming out together. So you could have, like, here's the thing. This is weird, but this is coming out anyways. I do feel like there's a period where you were gone. Like maybe you had a severe sickness that you were fighting, or you had to heal from something that was really difficult. This could have been a bereavement period as well. Like somebody passed away in your family or someone very close to you, which if that's the case, I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. It's never easy when we deal with losses like that. And grief is a very powerful reminder that we loved somebody so much that when they're gone, we now have no place to put this love. And that's what grief is a testimony to. And while it is so deeply painful, it is also so beautiful and has so much profound wisdom behind it as well. So for those of you that resonates with, and I feel like there's just something here where you had to take time off of work and people were missing you. Like they were anxious because maybe they were then responsible for your work, or it left, like there was like a gap period here, it feels like. So maybe you went away for school, or you had to leave for a long time, or like there's a gap period here where people are really nervous. Like if pile 1 doesn't come back, what are we gonna do? How are we going to do what they do? Like, how are we going to live without them? And so there's this fear that they were going to have to shoulder some sort of responsibility or advice. Like they come to you for advice. They come to you for guidance. There's something here that people rely on you for. And that's what they talk about. Yeah. So I do feel like some people were resorting to some unconventional means to try to garner information from you. Like they were trying to be nosy. And it's just because they had a fear that you weren't going to come back. Right? Like that they were relying on you for no reason. I feel like this is a lot of projection too. Like with this fear here, it's like they were really nosy. They were worried about it. And they're talking about how, you know, like, I trusted pile 1. Like, if they leave for good, what the heck? You know, like, I rely on them. I need them in my life. I need them at work. Like, this could be a boss who really feels like they wouldn't be where they're at without you. This could be a group of people who come to you for advice. Like, that's what he's saying. Like, if this is like a senior home or something like that, like, they don't trust very many people, but you are definitely on the top of their trust list. And that's like someone that they rely on, and they felt like it was too good to be true. Like, here's the thing that they're talking about. Like, it was too good to be true. Like, while you were gone sick, it was too good to be true. Of course, pile 1 isn't going to stay here. Of course, pile 1's going to move on to bigger and better things. But they're so perfect at this job. Like, why would they leave it? Like, it's something that we all rely on. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is a thing, like, again, resorting to kind of unconventional methods as to where it is that you disappeared to. And maybe this is a job that, like, you had to take time off for a child, or it does feel like you had to leave for some reason. And it might not have even been long. Like, you might have just had a couple of sick days, right? Like, but maybe you're never sick. Maybe you always show up to work. Like, maybe you're just so consistent, right? Especially with 10th house energy, right? Consistency and stability and foundation. And that's what your stability and foundation is built on, is that consistency. And so it feels like they are in this energy of like, they never miss. They're never gone. They're so consistent with everything that they do. And if they leave, then they're going to be brokenhearted. So they really thought that when you left, that's why we were talking about these first. What they're talking about is like when you left, that you left because you're going somewhere else. And there's still something that they're talking about here. They really believe that you're going to get a better option somewhere else, that something better is going to come along, and that you're not going to need them anymore. You're not going to need these people in your life anymore. And while that might be true for some of you, I do feel like for many of you, like, you're happy where you're at. And there might be some of you that aren't, but you're definitely pouring into what it is that you're building right now because it's helping you take that next step in life. Yeah, look, you have a lot going on for you now, and there's a lot of abundance in regards to this here. And I do feel like most of the people around you right now, especially in the work environment, like, they're not really necessarily, like, they don't hate you at all. I feel like some of you have been wondering, like, do they hate me? Do they not want me here? Like, are they against me? Like, should I stay? Should I go type energy? But I feel like the people that are around you, they just don't know how to say how they feel. And so they get scared. And that's what they talk about amongst themselves. They really think that you're going to end your position there, or you're going to end this friendship, or you're going to end this relationship. This feels like, again, the Three of Coins really talks about business collaboration, and when it's in the reverse, we have the dissolution of a partnership. And it could be that you're building your own business and you have this partnership with someone, or you have a promise with someone here, and that's what their main worry is that you're gonna find something better and move on from them, and that's why they're so scared. There's a lot of fear here, and there's no reason for you to feel bad. This is them facing their own insecurities right now, okay? Like, they're being forced into a situation to face these insecurities. But that's what their biggest concern is that you're going to say, oh, nope, I've had enough with this, and I need to move on to greener pastures. But I just don't feel like you're like that. I feel like you had to leave, or you had to maybe draw back from the situation for self-care. You could be an introvert, and these could be extroverted people. And sometimes when you have those differences, it's good. It balances things out. But introverts really, they need time to disconnect from the world. Like, I get that too. It's sometimes I just don't even tell people I'm leaving, and I'll just leave because I need to, you know, I need to recover. I need to gain more energy. I need to come back to self-love. I need to reground. Or sometimes I need to, you know, get out of the heavy, dense, grounded energy and get back into spirit energy. You know, it just depends. So I can appreciate that too, because I feel like some people just don't understand that when it's like, well, how hard is it for you to just tell me that you need space? And it's like, well, because the moment that it comes up, I just need it, right? And I'm not thinking about anybody else, because I'm only thinking about reconnecting with myself. And that's the main thing. I'd spent so much of my own life in the past trying to tell everybody where I was going and what I was doing, and also looking back and noticing how many people will go out of their way to try to get you to not take that space and time for yourself. So you kind of learn through trial and error what works best for you. You might be very good at Irish goodbyes. If you don't know, you don't know. It's okay. It's all right. But I do feel like that's a thing. Like, this might have been an Irish goodbye, but if it was something that was like sickness, or if it was something like, you know, again, you're grieving something, or you had to go and help somebody in your family, you know, it came up because it was so sudden. There was no way to say goodbye. There was no way for you to let them know what was going on. And even coming back, you might not be very open with them. And I feel like that's something too. Like, they're trying to understand what it is that was so hard for you to just totally leave them in the dust like this. And that's what they're gossiping about right now. So they're really trying to put a finger on what it is that you've gone through. Like, they might be trying to ask each other, like, if this is at work, or like they're trying to ask each other, like, what is it that you know about pile one? And no one really knows why it is that you left. But it was something that was pretty serious for you. But everybody's worried that you don't like what you do as much as they like having you in the position that you're in. I hope that makes sense, because that's what it feels like. It's like everybody's just really happy that you're in this position, that you're in this place, that you're taking the lead, that you're in charge, because everyone else feels like they can't shoulder that responsibility. So Source, can you give us a little bit of advice for pile number 1? The 4 of Swords with postponement, yeah. Let's find some advice for pile number 1. Okay, this is an interesting energy. Yeah. I don't know if you know how many people rely on you, pile number 1, but there's a lot of people who rely on you. Bottom of the deck, we have the House of God energy. And maybe you do. Maybe you are absolutely aware of how many people rely on you. And that might be why when you leave and you don't tell people. You're just like, I just need to reconnect. Especially with the House of God, or what you might know as the Tower here in Breakthrough. There's a lot at stake for you energetically and emotionally and mentally too. And I feel like if you're given the option where you can take time away and still come back and keep performing at your best, then, you know, keep doing that for yourself. And I feel like a lot of people don't recognize the pressure that's on you. Like they're aware of it, but they don't recognize just how heavy it is when it comes to what's on your shoulders and what it is that you're fighting for, and what it is that you're speaking on, and what it is that you're going to, you know, to solve or to help people with. But also with the Knight of Swords here and the fighting, you have to be your own hero. And I feel like Source is reminding you, even though people look up to you, and even though people love you, and even though people are praising you and cheering you on, at the end of the day, if you don't save yourself when your energy is low, when your energy is waning, you know, they're not going to. And that's why it's okay for you to just kind of bunk out. And as long as you keep coming back, that's the only thing that matters. And I do feel like you come back. But I feel like it has happened, like, either this is something that regularly happens, like not like every month or anything, but like maybe once a year, there's just a time where you just like have to leave, or you have to take this time to yourself, you know, and you continually schedule that for yourself off at work. Or maybe you own your own business, and every few months you just need to leave what you're doing and reconnect with yourself so that you can keep giving your all. You know, it's like you have to make a choice here to do that. And that's what Source is saying. Like, the advice is to keep doing that. Like, there's a reason that you've been given this opportunity, because every time you do that, it's almost like, okay, so if you work in a situation where you're dealing with a lot of people and you want the recognition, right? It's just something, it's a part of your path. It's one of the goals that you have, whatever it might be. Pile 1. Like, one thing that the law of attraction, it's like we as humans believe the harder we work, the more we're going to get rewarded. But oftentimes Source is testing us and reminding us to trust in the process, when it's actually to relinquish our hold on trying to control the outcome. And we get more with less. And you know, like they talk about that in yoga, they talk about that in meditation, they talk about that in everything. Like, we can spend our whole lives trying to control all these things, these actions that we're doing. But sometimes less is going to get us further. And I feel like that's something that either you're learning or that you have learned. But trying to explain that to people who are like, oh my gosh, you know, you're so consistent. Like, why the heck would you take this furlough period all of a sudden when you're so consistent? Like, what's the point of that? We need you. And you're like, I know that. I know you need me, but I have to recover. I do not have an infinite supply of energy to just keep giving to you. And sometimes people have a hard time recognizing that. But honestly, what they're gossiping about is just that, I mean, they want to know why it is that you took the furlough, or why it is that you disappeared for a time being, or why it is that you take that time to yourself. They want to know about that. And so they're speculating as to what it is, but nothing that they come up with is even a big enough reason as to why they themselves would take a furlough. And so, but the only reason they're trying to speculate is because they like you so much. They want you to be in their energy. They want you to be around always. And I feel like It's hard. It's just hard to explain. It's hard to explain that you need to refuel to people who might not understand what that means. So we have trine here energy with angelic support, harmony, and perfect flow. Yeah, you're in a state of flow with whatever it is that you're doing, whether that's for work or on the side or whatever it is. And I do feel like with trine energy, like you were meant to come into this place that you're at, and people really do appreciate you so much. Okay, they really do. The 8th house, and also there's a lot of transformation. We have transformation, karma, facing fears, and leaving legacies. This is a part of your legacy, what you're doing right now, but it has to do with how you're taking care of yourself and how you're embracing your own personal power with the 8th house here. Part of that is facing those fears of that illusion that work hard and work harder and harder and harder and harder, and that's the only way we can play. Sometimes it's work less and play harder. Like that's what it comes down to. It's not work harder, play hard. Like it's sometimes work way less, play harder, and that's just what we're learning to trust, and that's part of those fears that we're facing. But I do feel like you may very well feel the fear of the people who trust you, the people who come to you for advice. You feel their fears of when it is that you have to take space for yourself. And I do feel like you're present with that, but also it's just a reminder to not let them coerce you into denying that time for yourself, okay? So we've got Virgin here, maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit, and the shadows, fear of intimate union. Yeah, and I feel like that's the thing. It's like you're very pure soul, you're very pure heart. You give so much love. Like people recognize your sincerity, okay? And they are also thinking that because you're so sincere and maybe you've been hurt and cast aside before, they're also speculating that maybe you don't like to get close with people, and that's why you also pull these moments where either it's the Irish goodbye or where you just kind of bunk out and nobody knows, right? Like you have this fear of union, this fear of connection, and that's not it at all. I really feel like for you, Pile 1, it's because you need to reconnect. You expend a lot of energy with people, which means that you also have to recover a lot of energy. Mercury, dive into the details. And the other thing is I feel like when you communicate this to them, it's not that it's too far to reach comprehension of what it is that you're asking for. It's just people are having a hard time understanding it for themselves because they're putting it through their own lens. Yeah, Kazumi. So seize the sunny opportunities. Yeah, you're definitely somebody that they're gossiping about how they're so glad that you're around. Like they didn't know how they survived before you came around. They really, really think that you're somebody that's changing their job, changing the career, changing the industry, changing something. Like you're definitely bringing a lot of change and transformation. Have faith in your dreams. Waxing crescent moon. Yeah, so right, again, a lot of change, and also choosing to bring in this manifestation. It's taking a lot out of you, but I do feel like even though you might have those moments where you're just like, oh, I'm so done, I'm gonna check out, you still keep coming back because you love it. And that's why people are like, you're perfect for this, but you do also need your moments of space. Prosperity lies ahead. Yeah. I do feel like most of these people are talking about how you're made for whatever it is that you're doing. So this is definitely a wink from source that you're on the right path. It's also that people have gotten beyond that whole state of maybe putting you down in gossip, and rather they're just like cheering you on. But you know, there's positive gossip and there's negative gossip. Like there are people who are excited about certain people doing things, and there are people who just want to tear others down, you know. But I do feel like you're surrounded by a lot of good people, a lot of high vibrational people, or people who just are very, you know, like especially if you're like at a senior home, like there are people who've been jaded by people in their lives, and when you show loyalty, and when you show, there's some people who the minute you show loyalty to, you'll have them for life. You know, there are people who exist like that. There are people who, when you show them love and care, they're going to shower you with devotion, right? It's because you've given them something that maybe they haven't had in their lives, or you've given them understanding, you've seen them, you have valued them, you've given them love and compassion, like things that they feel like they're missing, things that they feel like there's an empty space, you know, and when you fill that for them, just because that's just where you're being led to put your energy at, you know, people, I won't say, they could get obsessed with it, but I don't feel like there's obsession here. I just feel like you're like everybody's favorite afternoon tea, and they wanted to sit down and drink you. Like, it sounds so weird, but that's what they're showing me. But when the tea leaves are out of stock, like, everybody's like, no, but that's my favorite tea. Like, come on. You know, like, that's what's happening here. So we have painting, telling a story, conveying emotion, decorating, and shaping. And this makes me feel like the intuition, like the third eye is open here. But again, telling a story, like, I just feel like you really take care of those people who are in your charge, whatever that is for you. It could even be as simple as, you know, helping people with their food, or helping people make a decision, or helping people with checks, or it could be, you know, as complex as giving people advice and so far, whatever it is. But you definitely do help people in some way, shape, or form. That's what this feels like. We have countryside, agriculture, irrigation, harvesting, and rent. Yeah. So even when you're not there, you're definitely living rent-free in these people's minds. But they are also recognizing that you've planted and you have nurtured some incredible seeds. Like, you've grown, you've healed, you've overcome so many things, and they're very grateful for that, because that's what gives you this opportunity to be on their side and to maybe give them a voice that they feel like they didn't have. Okay, so he's over here mowing on the other side of my RV, and he should be done pretty quickly. I had to move the fence out because I got a tent so that I could sit outside at night. It has a little mosquito net around it, and I put it around the fire pit, and so yeah, it looks really cool. So get outside as much as you can, right? Forgotten person, exactly. Okay, so we have core, past, and old friend. This is a group of people who feel like, even though they have each other, okay, like they might have each other, it could be only one person. Maybe they have nothing and they only have you. Like, you could be what are those people? They're like in-home nurses or something like that. You could be an in-home nurse or an in-home doctor or something like that too. But they feel like if you're not there, then they're completely forgotten. It makes sense with the senior citizens home coming out. You know, like, some people, they just don't have, like, they throw them in a home and they don't care to visit their families, you know, and for whatever reason it is. But I feel like for most of them, like, you feel like the old friend that they always wish that they had, and only you can fulfill that need for them. It's like they felt so lonely until you came along. You understand them in a way that nobody else did. And you remember them. You remember things about them. You care about them. You help them with hard times. Like, you're there giving them this love. And that's basically when they sit down and talk with other people. Like, they say really good things about you, but when you're gone, they're worried about you being gone. And part of it is selfish. Part of it's because they want your energy for themselves. Like, not as in to hoard it or anything like that, but it's like because they feel good when they're around you. And I feel like the other is because they just want people to know that you're such a good person. Oh my gosh, with mentor here, you're some sort of teacher. You give wisdom, passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. And the shadow is the inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master and imparting false instruction. Yeah, so you're caring for them. Like, even if you're younger than the people that you look out for, like, they look to you for wisdom and guidance. Like, you have a way of explaining things that they didn't know that they could understand in such a way. And they really do look to you. Reject, yeah, because they've been rejected. negation, never, forbid, taboo. Like they feel left out. Maybe by their family, maybe by friends, maybe by everyone else. Like they just feel like they're the black sheep. And they also feel like you're a black sheep, but they feel like you're the only black sheep that's reached out a hand to them. And that's what they talk about. Look, redemption, exactly. Hope, miracle, and turning point. Like you're their hope. And that's why they talk about you all the time, because you give them hope. You give them the freedom to be themselves without judgment. And that's what they talk about all the time. They're like, oh, pile one, we just love pile one so much. I'm so glad pile one's in my life, you know. And they might go about weird ways to find out what's going on with you, but they're doing it because they want you to come back. And maybe they're doing it because they're nosy, but I do feel like there's some of them that are doing it because they want to see if there's any way for them to help and bring you back sooner, you know. And most of you just need that time to recover. Mystery, yeah, you're an unknown, you're a puzzle, illusion, confusing. Like you're a mystery to everybody though. Like even the people who they thought would have information on you, they don't have information on you. And so they're like sad that they can't get any further information, but every time you come back, it's like all that's forgotten. Even the fact that you were gone, it's forgotten. Like they might say it, right? They may be like, pile one, you were gone. Why were you gone? Like, oh, I'm so glad you're back. And then they're so focused on the fact that you're back. They're just excited you're back. Chew. Look, deep thinking, remember, solve puzzles, and code word. Yeah, so you definitely give them a lot to chew on, a lot to think about. You keep old stagnant minds young by having them go through new ideas or to think about existential things, you know. Like they really enjoy that. You give them wisdom, ascending, level up, promotion, and progress. Didn't I say that you could have recently gone through getting a promotion? There's definitely leveling up here. You're helping people. Look, and with the breakthrough energy too, this is very similar energy. You're helping them break out of old stagnant beliefs that have left them feeling completely heavy, unsure of themselves, and freeing them in a way that they didn't know was possible. And they're so deeply grateful to you for that. What a beautiful energy you have, pile one. Thank you for being here. So let's take a look at this card. We're going to read this from the book and see what it says. Financial security. Okay, so like you are somebody that is talked about too. Like they talk about how secure you are. Like they look at you as having financial security. They talk about you having financial security. But I feel like more than anything with this financial security card, it's also that people look at you as somebody who's incredibly stable and grounded and reliable, right? Without a worry and a care in the world. And even though that might not be true, that's what they're talking about, okay? Oh, my AC just turned on. It's rather warm today, so it says, you are about to experience great rewards or success concerning financial security. This card can indicate a sudden blessing or the feeling of finally advancing in your career. Complete success in a financial partnership lies ahead. You'll be lucky in your investments and won't have to worry about your lifestyle. This doesn't mean you can be reckless with your spending, but it's time to treat yourself a little. There are 4 moons on this card, indicating a result you seek are not instantaneous, but your deliberate, calculated risks will turn out favorable, as 4 is the number of stability. Yeah, so representing the 4 moons on the card here, right? Stability, security, foundation. This is all about where people are discussing that you've come so far in your own life that you're absolutely secure with who you are. The affirmation here is, I'm strategic. And I feel like some people wonder if you take the moves that you do to be strategic. But I feel like the main thing is when you're gone or when you have to leave for whatever reason, like most people are just worried about you coming back because they've been abandoned or they've been, you know, left wanting and feeling like they've been forgotten, and you're the only person that doesn't forget them. Like you keep coming back, even if there's a period of time when you're gone, like you keep coming back. And so you're getting known to be the person that even though things might end for a period, like you're still gonna come back. And that's something that people trust, and they talk about too. Like they can trust you, they can trust that you're loyal to your cause, they can trust that you're loyal to what it is that you're building. And that's what they talk about the most. But yeah, it's just been a really good energy. This was a really fun one, pile one. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little, is there a little chart where it's like the chart that's going up to success? Leave that little chart emoji down below and say, by caring for and refilling my cup, I am able to help others find their path to higher vibrations, to love, to light, and to their truth. And I know that I'm doing exactly what I'm meant to be doing on my journey. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box. I'd like to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this truly beautiful message today. And until next time, pile number one, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this moon dice, or perhaps you felt called to this white feather, or maybe you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your reading on what's the gossip about you. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're new here, thanks so much for joining us. Please know that your time, your energy, and your presence are a true gift and a blessing. I'm deeply honored to be here sharing it with you today. I do things differently here on this channel, so there might be triggering statements that arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, while also remembering that triggers can be a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journeys. Should the message happen to resonate with you, it would truly mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And with that being said, I was getting a channeled message for you, specifically pile two is very strong. This could be a father figure that's gossiping about you, someone that is seen as a father figure in your life. That could also be symbolic for someone that is like a boss or is like a lead or something like that, or someone that has a masculine zodiac sign, which would be fire, Aries, Leo, Sag, or air, which is Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, okay? Really strongly, but very, very, very powerful energy that this is a father figure that's coming in, a father figure who specifically is very superficial, incredibly superficial. And when they talk about you, they definitely are leaning into that superficiality. So it's like they're trying to tell people that you aren't worried about money, and that puts a strain on them, that puts stress on them. Like if this is a boss, it's like you're not taking your position seriously and thus creating more work for them. Or if this is somebody in your life, like they're just basically saying like you don't take the connection that you guys have together very seriously, and they feel like they're the ones that are dragging you along. I do feel like you've had to limit time with this person. It feels specifically like one person. Okay, it does, because it's a really powerful message coming through. I feel like you've had to limit time and the energy that you've given to this person because they drain your energy. They could be an energetic vampire. This is also someone you recognize, like maybe you get sick after you spend time with them or are around them for any amount of time, or you realize that you just stop feeling like you can do the things that you love, and you've really had to put some very strong boundaries up for this person, okay? But this does not feel like a positive energy. Pile one was actually incredibly positive, and so some of you could have come here from pile one, but this is a vastly different energy coming in already. Let's go ahead and get to it and find out. Also, I just want to put out there that because we're doing this type of reading, we're looking into how somebody else is talking about and seeing you, and that is in no way, shape, or form the truth as to who you are, okay? So, for pile two, what's the gossip about you? Source, what would you like to share with us today? What's the gossip about you, pile two? Okay, interesting. Yeah, so we've got the 6th house, we've got Leo energy, and we've got the South Node. We got the North Node in pile 1. This is interesting. Yeah, so again, a completely opposite type of energy coming in. Very negative. It feels very... This just feels like somebody who's either incredibly jealous of you, or with the Leo energy, this is somebody who wants to create a lot of drama. So we were saying that this could be a masculine zodiac sign. Leo would definitely fall under that. This could be someone who's a Leo, has 6th house Leo placements, or has Leo, Aquarius, North, South node energies, okay? Or that could resonate with you. This is somebody who... I feel like Source wants to tell you who they are first before we get into what it is that they're saying, because there's something really, I don't know, I just feel like there's something about this message that needs to come through. This is someone who's really arrogant. Like, they think they are Source's gift to man, Source's gift to women. Like, this is somebody who really, really believes that they know everything. They really believe that they've got it going on, and they really bash on you when you're not around. Like, this is somebody interesting too. Like, it could be a coworker with the 6th house here. It doesn't have to be, but I feel like this energy is also talking about, like, they bash on how you take care of your health, or like maybe you deal with a lot of ups and downs with your health, and so they always are talking about how you're weak and you have a weak constitution, like you can't take anything, and that creates a lot of a burden for them. Like, they act like they're the ones who are taking care of you, that are buying the medicine for you, that are making sure that you're okay. And I actually feel like this person, they may contribute in some cases, they may contribute, but I feel like mostly this person doesn't do anything when you're sick, or when you go through, like, if you get an injury or something like that. Some people are just accident prone, and if that's you, please don't beat yourself up for that. That's just being human. Some of us are very clumsy in this physical world, and we're accident prone. And, you know, like, let me tell you a quick story really quick. You know, my mom, when she was younger, my grandparents would always make fun of her, and because she was accident prone. My mom was so accident prone. She broke her arm on a hippity hop. She loved doing the hippity hop. This was at school. She was on a hippity hop, and if you guys don't know what that is, it's a big, it's like a yoga ball with a handle on top, and you bounce around on them. That's what the hippity hop was. And so anyways, she was on a hippity hop at school, fell off, which it's not very far from the ground, but just fell off, hit her arm, broke her arm, goes, gets it in a cast. Then finally, the day she gets her cast off, they have the hippity hops again, and she's so excited because she loved the hippity hops, gets on the hippity hop, falls off, breaks her arm again. Okay, they took her to the doctor so many times that she, like, they were known by the doctors. They're like, oh, here are my family's last name again, right? Like, that's what it was. My family was infamous with the doctors. And it was wild. And, you know, one time my mom was out and she was playing soccer in PE. Somehow she always got injured in PE. But she was playing soccer in PE, and they had her under the goalie's net. And the goalie's net was not a net back when she was growing up. It was chicken wire, which is wild to think about. What kind of a school would put chicken wire on a goalie's net instead of just leaving it without anything? But she bent down to pick up the ball, and when she came up, some of the chicken wire was hanging off, and it caught her above her glasses on her eyelid, and it ripped her eyelid open, and she had to get stitches in her eyelid. When I was growing up, my mom was putting dishes in the cabinet, and a plate fell out, and it fell, and it fractured her arm. They had put it in a cast for so long, like one of those half casts, and then the day she got it off again, she dropped a cup out of the cupboard, and the same thing happened again. Like, just these wild things that would happen to my mom. Like, we were always like, Mom, you're so, like, if an accident's gonna happen, it was gonna happen to my mom. Like, we told her that, and she's like, I know. I don't know why. It's just, some people are accident prone, and I feel like that might resonate with some of you. If it doesn't, just, you know, don't worry about this. But I feel like this is somebody who, when they talk about that, they're like, they talk about you being that way and how it's put a financial burden on them. Like, they're the ones that are taking care of you. They're the ones that are your savior. Like, if it weren't for them, you'd be homeless under a bridge because you would not have the money to pay for your hospital bills. You would not have the money to take care of yourself. You would not have the money to take care of the medicine that you need. And I feel like this person doesn't do any of that. Like, I don't feel like they even call to check up and see how you're doing when you're having a moment of illness or a moment of accident or whatever it is. I don't feel like they do any of that. With the South Node energy here, we do see that this is baggage from your past, right? Like, this is their baggage from your past. This is something you're meant to let go of, whatever that looks like for you, pile 2, okay? But this is definitely, I feel like, somebody who is rather cruel when it comes to talking about you to people, and they use something that's actually very vulnerable for you. Like, if you have, I don't know why this came in, but maybe you have an autoimmune disease, and I don't know the schematics of that at all. Like, I don't know how that works out, but I do feel like it's something where you might get sick really easy, or like if there's a virus going around, like you have to take extra care of yourself because it can be extra detrimental to your system. Again, I'm not a doctor and I don't know all the jargon that goes with that or anything, like, but that's something really powerful that's coming in all of a sudden. And, you know, it's like you have to take extra care of yourself, because if you don't, it can be really bad for you. And they use that as like, oh, they're so weak. Like, I can't believe that just a common cold will put them out, like as if they've got pneumonia. This is the real world. They need to get over it. Like, that's what it feels like this person is saying about you. And I feel like the people that they're talking to about you, like, they don't know who you are, and they have to not know who you are, because I feel like if the people knew who you were, like, it's things that I feel like these are things that you don't necessarily keep from people. Like, you might share these things about yourself, like, oh, you know, like, I broke my arm 4 times in my life. It was something random that just happened to me. And so, you know, or like maybe you trip over your own feet and you might fall, you know, and people are like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And you might bounce back up and you're like, yeah, I always fall. I fall upstairs. I fall on rocks that aren't even there. Like, you might joke about it because it's just something that's happened to you all the time. And it's not that you're trying to make, like, not take it seriously, but you're also not trying to let it rule your life. And this person is talking about how absolutely, I don't know, it just doesn't feel good at all. This does not feel good. I got a weird headache over my left eye right now. It's like there's a lot of stress involved with dealing with this person, and they're making it seem like you're just absolutely a bane of their existence. Like, how could they have somebody in their family, in their life as a friend like you? Like, they just can't believe that somebody like you exists. This is a really negative energy that's coming in, guys. Like, I don't know, like, I'm so sorry. If this is somebody that's in your family, I'm so sorry you've had to deal with a person like this. They're just very judgmental, very harsh, and very condescending. That's the energy that's coming in. It's very condescending. Yeah, it just doesn't feel like, and I feel like that's the thing. It's like they are so arrogant and they don't even know you. Like, they'll never get, that's the thing. This is the hardest thing I think sometimes we have to realize, is that they'll never ever take time to get to know you. They won't ever get to know you. And that's their loss, because you're actually an incredible person. You're very kind. You're very giving. I also feel like you're also very silly for some reason. Is coming in, like, you're kind of goofy, and I mean, people maybe have called you a spaz or spastastic or something like that, but I feel like it just fits your personality, because you're just somebody that has learned that life is kind of full of surprises, and we don't know what's going to come, and we can't be so serious about the small things. And so even when big things happen, I still feel like they don't impact you the way that they impact other people. And so maybe there's some sort of trauma that you and this person shared together, and it completely bulldozed them over. And it didn't you. Like, you were able to recover very quickly from it, or you were able to reground yourself and to face it head on. And it just left them feeling absolutely degraded, because they just thought like, well, if I'm suffering this much, everybody has to suffer this much. And you didn't suffer the way that they suffered because you're healing from the hardships. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, they're telling people that you're the reason that their life is falling apart. This energy. Who is this? I'm so sorry about this pile too. Like, this is a weird energy. Yeah, so parent relationships here with the Three of Cups. This could be a mother, a father energy. Okay. Yeah, a lot of negativity here. Yeah, okay. Sagittarius energy heavy here. This could be someone who is Sagittarius. Sagittarius, sun, moon, rising. Venus, you could have Sagittarius, sun, moon, rising. Venus specifically for you, Sagittarius rising. 5th house placements, and yeah, Sagittarius in the 5th house. That could be anything in the 5th house with Sagittarius as well. So, and maybe 10th house in Sagittarius. This is wild though. Like, and that's the thing, like, we see that you're healing. We do see that, especially with Temperance here. And I do feel like you're doing your best to try to balance out having to deal with this person. So this is somebody you have to see on the regular because of circumstances. You know, I'm not that person that's like, you better get them the hell out of your life. And please excuse the phrasing. You guys know I don't curse very often. It's just kind of come up a couple of times on this reading today, so I'm rolling with it. Because I feel like there's some really forceful guides here, but also I'm just not a reader that's going to tell you like you should absolutely cut them out of your lives, because it's unfair for a reader to suggest that they know exact circumstances to somebody's life when that might not be the case. Like, you might not have a way or an opportunity to not deal with this person. It just depends on your circumstances. And so I always suggest, no matter what you're doing, whatever you're going through, please, please, please listen to your intuition, because that is going to be far more insightful than I could ever be, considering these are general readings, right? So your intuition is key to your success here. But this person also talks about how they're the ones that came and they're taking care of you. Like, they took care of you, right? So the Three of Cups talks about a pregnant mother, right? It also talks about an extended family, like a family turning from the Two of Cups into the Three of Cups. So a loving couple having a baby. It talks about support, emotional support. This talks about, it really does. It's like familial ties. This is somebody who's tied to you family-wise. This could be a in-law. This could be a stepchild or step-parent. This could be even step-grandparents, like step-uncles and aunts and stuff like that. So again, take it as it resonates. This does feel like family, and I'm going to keep with that theme because that theme was so strong at the beginning of the reading. But yeah, they're talking about how it's you healing. What you're dubbing as healing is just making you intolerable. It's making you difficult to deal with, and it's making you feel like you are owed all this help when you're really not, and they're just trying to help you out of the goodness of their heart. And that how could you be so unkind to them when they're really trying to save you from yourself? Oh my gosh, this person's so conceited. I love you, pile 2. I love you no matter what. And you're just treating me like you know everything and like you're better than me and like I'm some piece of trash. And there's this manhwa that I'm reading and it's called Trash Will Always Be Trash. And there's one of the characters in there. This dude is a total narcissist. And the main female, she finally got away from this dude, and he's a duke, right? Like, so he's a duke, and the main character, she got away, and she ends up getting involved with the emperor, who is this really great guy. Like, he's so good for her, and it's so exciting to see her get involved with him. And you would have thought that her leaving the duke and basically cutting all ties, she did. She blocked him. She cut all ties from him. She kicked him out of her residence. She's not, like, now she's in charge of this residence and all this stuff. And she's, like, basically barred his existence from her life. And so she ends up getting sent to take care of business in the place where he's at. It's called Cassiewood. And she shows up, and of course he finds out where she is on her journey because he's trying desperately to get her back, even though he got He cheated on her when he was away at war for 7 years. He brought this lady back who was supposedly pregnant, but it was through magic. She wasn't pregnant. It was just appearing for her to be pregnant. Long story cut short, he treated her like she was dirt when he came back, and she waited for him for like 7 years, was taking care of the dukedom, was making sure everybody was getting paid, was making sure that the subjects on his land were getting taken care of, were taking care of difficult situations. And he basically tossed her to the wolves. And so now he's trying to get her back because he's realizing everything that she did for him. But he's never once said, I'm sorry, with sincerity. Right? Like, he's just expecting her to want him back no matter what. And that's the type of energy that this person is giving. It's like they expect you to want them in your life no matter what, because of the title that they hold, because of the position that they're in, or because like they have this placeholder in your life, like whatever it is, they just expect you to always treat them with respect, even though they're doing nothing that's deserving of respect. And I feel like maybe for a time you were in that same energy. It's like, well, if it's a father, right? You're like, well, they're my father, I should just respect them because they're my father. They gave me life. Like, they helped me when I was a kid. But as you're healing with the Temperance card here, it's like you're beginning to see all the red flags that you didn't see when you were a kid because you were just trying to protect yourself from a very difficult situation. Right? This could be a narcissist. They could be a sociopath. Like, this is somebody who really, really believes that anybody who meets them, that they're the gift. And yet I do feel like this person's like a real life villain. Like, they're cruel and they are not kind to people. They're very malicious to people. And, again, it's like, it's not to try to paint somebody in a negative light. It's just, this is how they're showing up. Like, they're saying that you failed your own life because you won't listen to them. Like, they're saying that you are doing the wrong things for yourself because you refuse to listen to their wisdom. And I feel like they have no wisdom to give. Like, I just don't think they have anything to give you that you haven't already figured out by yourself from a young age. That's what this feels like. Let's get some advice for you in dealing with this person from the Osho Zen. So, Source, can you give us some advice for pile number 2 when it comes to dealing with this person, please? Can you give us some advice for pile number 2 when it comes to dealing with this person? Yeah, pour into your creativity. Also, being in that soft feminine energy, right? Like, taking your power back from that soft feminine energy. You don't have to go to war here. You don't have to battle this person. I feel like, look, exactly. This is an extra card in this deck, the Master. You're the one that has the wisdom. Keep listening to your intuition. Keep trusting in the process, and keep trusting in what it is that you're putting your time, your energy, and your effort to. Because I do feel like there's a reason that you have to be around this person. Whatever it is, maybe you guys have a house together, or maybe you are taking care of your family because you felt obligated to, whatever it is. I do feel like there's no way to really just cut ties and run with this person or from this person right now. Like, there's a need for there to be a plan in place, and you're working on that plan. And that's what Source is saying. Like, what your direction is right now. It's about you reclaiming your power and remembering that you've already mastered this situation. No matter who they are and no matter what they're saying about you. I feel like I'm not telling you anything new when it comes to this person. You know exactly who this is. You know what it is that they've been saying about you. Even if you haven't heard them saying about it, like, you just know in your heart that they are not kind when it comes to you. Even though they try to paint themselves as some absolute savior, and they're really not. Yeah, the Ace of Swords. Exactly. Yeah, you know exactly what this person's been saying. The bottom of the deck, we have the Magician here with existence. Right now, it's about you receiving. You have had the courage to grow dealing with this person for some time. Okay, whether that was, from your childhood, but I feel like this is something that's happening now. Like, you're dealing with this now, and you've had the courage to face what it is that you went through traumatically as a child, the wounds that you had as a child that came from dealing with somebody like this for your entire life. And what Source is saying is that now is the opportunity for you to pour into what matters to you, because that's going to give you the tools that you need to move beyond this situation. And there's going to be a point where this person is going to push back and be like, well, you owe me. And Source wants to remind you, you don't owe anybody anything. Just because they think that they're doing something to get something out of you in the end of this, that does not make it the truth. Right? That might be their reality, but that's not your reality. And that you don't have to compromise your reality to coincide with theirs either. And so Source is reminding you to maintain a state of power here and to keep trusting your intuition. That's the main thing here, is to trust your intuition. This card flipped over as I was saying that. We have the water energy with Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, spirituality, emotion, intuition, and compassion. Keep coming from the place that you've always come from. You're doing a good job. On the bottom of the deck, again, this is something that's close to home. Okay, with the 4th house here, cultural and family roots, home, peace, and comfort. This is something you're dealing with that's close to home. And it's difficult. It's not easy. What you're going through is very, very challenging. And we're definitely acknowledging that. But remember that you're already creating an exit strategy, okay? This is not about quickly packing a bag and leaving like a thief in the middle of the night right now. This is about trusting your exit strategy, because that time is going to come. And maybe you're going to make a big bang when you leave. Maybe you're going to go out guns blaring, and that's okay. You have that right to. It's whatever you feel called to do. That's going to be the best move for you. But trust your intuition, because it's not going to be wrong, okay? Yeah, Queen energy here. Radiates the regal feminine. Uses her benevolent authority to protect others. And I feel like that's the thing. Like, you're just sitting on your throne, recognizing that this person doesn't hold a candle to you. And they don't. They're coming from a very egoic place, okay? The shadow becomes arrogant when authority is challenged, controlling and demanding. And that's where they're at. You have challenged their authority and they don't like it. And so they're trying to push back. They're trying to gain access to being seen as the authority figure in your life again. And that time is long gone. What else for pile number 2, Source? Yeah, look at this. Malefics. Beware of challenges. So Source is absolutely affirming that this is a very, very challenging chapter in your life. However, you going through this is creating a resolve like you've never experienced before. And the minute that you're able to free yourself from this type of energy, you're going to be aware of this from anybody else a mile away. Like, it's going to be something that you're going to be able to discern and move away from at will. Libra, find your balance. Continue to create so you can find balance. You need to keep pouring back into yourself. This is such a powerful message for you, Pile 2. It's reminding you that this person is draining your energy, so it's important for you to fill your cup tenfold. Because the more you fill your cup tenfold, the more you set a very stern boundary between you and this person, and they won't have access to you the way that they are used to having access to you. Look at this. You're very close to achieving your goal. Gibbous moon. Yes! So the good things are coming. Like, right? Like, you're seeing clearly now and seeing through the darkness, the shadow that was once there. Like, you understand it better about yourself and about what you went through, what you experienced. And it's given you the courage to change yourself for the better. And I know, Pile 2, like, I feel how exhausted you are. I feel it. I feel like some of you are just ready. It's just like, I'm just ready for something to change, or I'm just going to throw in the towel. But yet, dealing with this person is still so harsh. You still keep going. And I just want to tell you how commendable that is, because it takes so much resolve, and that takes just so much grit to be able to do that, right? So celebrate yourself too. The answers you need are coming. Yeah. So Source is telling you, like, this is so close. You're so close to celebrating a victory away from this person. And I feel like that's something really powerful for you. Okay, so let's get some more. What's the gossip about pile number 2? Whoa, okay. One more, they said. What's the gossip about pile number 2? What would you like to share with them today, Source? Thank you. bottom of the deck, we have reconcile, repair, cure, understanding, and concession. This is just confirmation to what I was just saying a minute ago, is that you're understanding yourself better. This could be somebody that you're in a relationship with, which makes it close to home. Somebody who, like, if you're involved with somebody and instead of treating you like their spouse, they're trying to treat you like a child, that could be something that's coming in as well. Okay. But definitely understanding yourself better. Father energy, very strong with this reading. Very, very strong. The last reading I did had that as well. Like, there was a father energy that came out that was very strong like that. And I posted that one on Wednesday. If you're catching this at the time that it's posted, it'll be the reading just before this one on my channel. Okay, so we have timing, deadline, synchronicity, rhythm, and movement. So this is all about divine timing. So there's something that Source is trying to align for you here to help you. So basically what I'm seeing is, like, when you leave, there's never going to be a reason to come back, right? So that's what this feels like. It's like Source is trying to align everything for you so that when you're able to move on, you are able to move on. Like, there is no turning back. There's no looking back over your shoulder. There's no even pondering about what's going on with this person anymore. It's not to say that you won't. It's to say that that's the setup that Source is trying to give you, right? Is that when you move, you move. And there's nothing that's going to bring you back to being in this person's clutches at all. Yeah, care, teach, accompany, assist, and support. You are definitely being assisted and supported from the spiritual community right now. Your spiritual community, your spiritual guides, your spiritual team, like, everybody is here with you. They know that you feel very alone. They know that you feel very disconnected. But trusting in their guidance right now is really helping you. And you might have friends and who you trust, friends who know about the situation as well. But it doesn't make it less lonely sometimes when you're dealing with someone like this. Sometimes it can just be so heavy. It's like you're trying to explain just how hard it is. And it's not that people don't believe you. I feel like people do believe you, but it's just like trying to actually vocalize this. It's hard because you're going up against something where it's like, I feel like I owe them, but how can I feel like I owe them when they treat me like I'm nothing, like I'm dirt, like I don't matter, like I'm worse than the mud that's on their shoe? Like, how do I vocalize that, right? No. I'm done. Pile 2, I'm done. What? We got the Father card. What? This energy is so strong. Like, if I it's so powerful. I could cut it with a snake knife, maybe because they're a snake. I don't know. This is like a steak knife. It's so thick. It's so thick. Talent for creating and supporting life. A positive guiding light with a tribal unit. Okay, this is the light attributes. Shadow attributes. Dictatorial control. Abuse of authority. Look at this. Shadow attributes. Becomes arrogant when authority is challenged, controlling and demanding. This is somebody who expects you to just fall in line under their authority. They just expect it. They don't see you as having free will. They don't see that at all. They see you as their puppet to control. And that's what, like, when they talk about you to people, they try to paint themselves in the light of the hero so that people, they just want validation. That's all they're seeking. They're just seeking people to empathize with their situation, to validate them, to validate what they're going through, because they need people to do that. That's how they get fed. That's somebody who's sucking on that energy, right? Look, run away, get away, keep away, give up. Oh my gosh, this energy. It's like when things happen, Source is going to give you an open door where you can just pack everything and get the heck out of Dodge. You're going to be given an opportunity, roll the dice, take a chance, a risk, a leap of faith. So if you're wondering if you should do something or start something that you've been considering, this is that green light. It's going to help you find the path away. Divine intervention is happening as well in your favor. Serendipity, catalyst, and karma. You've healed so much in regards to this very heavy situation. This is like a core wound that you have ripped open, sewed back shut, and put healing balm on top of. And now you look at the scar knowing that it created strength in your life, and you're not malicious against it anymore. You're not trying to deny this part of yourself any longer. You've begun to accept and integrate that into your journey. This is a part of your journey, your growth, your path, and your experiences. This is a part of the process. Okay? Things are happening. Things are turning behind closed doors, right? Like in the divine realm, things are happening. You're just not seeing it right now because it's very spiritual what's going on right now. Yeah, you passed some sort of exam, some sort of test. You've gotten the certification. This is like level cleared, right? You're leveling up for sure. I can't. The gossip card to come out in this reading. It's like you might have really taken what this person thought of you to heart for a long time before. And it's just like now you're just like, you know what? See me how the heck you want to see me, because I just don't give a flying flip no more. It just doesn't even matter. And the fact that you're standing in that type of energy, this person is absolutely tearing out their hair because they were able to control your mood swings for so long, and now they just don't have any control over you. And I feel like you're very indifferent when it comes to this person, and it's really irritating them. And they definitely are going to lash back. If they haven't, they're gonna try to hook you and reel you back in. And it's just a reminder that, you know, let them drown in the making of their own chaos, because that's exactly what's happening. Okay, let's take a look at this. I'm going to read this book. This book from the card is what I was going to say. We're going to read this card from the book and see what it says. Okay, safe travel. I mean, can we be even more clear about this? This card, safe travel, you're getting away from something that's tumultuous. There's sources opening up doors for you here with the safe travel card. This card didn't even have anything to do about what this person was saying about you. It's just truly that Source wants you to know we're acknowledging this difficult chapter of your life, and we are working as hard as we can right now. I know it's like we think that Source can snap their fingers and everything will work out for us, but it's about aligning certain elements, and then once everything comes into alignment, it's like if you ever watched Laura Croft, you might get a lot of signs and synchronicities from movies and shows, because I feel like, you know, like our books or something, but like in Laura Croft, Tomb Raider, the one with Angelina Jolie, you know, when she's got the, I don't remember the name of that device, but they're waiting for the planets to line up because they haven't lined up for like 7,000 years, and it's going to open some gate and portal to power or whatever. It's been a while since I've seen it. Anyways, that's what it's like for Source. It's like aligning all the planets, and sometimes it takes years because it's just there's certain elements that have to fall into place. It's like if you need this person to be next to you for things to be in alignment, but right now they're 3,000 miles away, well, we have to get them to move towards you, or you to move towards them. Like that's the only way that it's going to work, right? So it says safe travels. You are on a journey into the unknown. You are in search of new or expanded understanding of yourself. We had understanding. Where was it? Right here. Understanding. We had that. It came out. Of yourself, others, nature, or higher good. This experience opens your mind and lets you see a part of the puzzle you never knew existed. This card can mean it's time to take a pilgrimage, travel abroad, or an inner journey of introspection. This act is of great importance in knowing who you are and the meanings you are looking for. This card can mean a metaphorical journey into your own beliefs. It might be time to discover the constraints of the limiting thoughts we sometimes impose on ourselves. The Arctic tern, which is the bird here, a wise and experienced traveler will guide you towards the shore. And the affirmation is, I'm ready for this journey. And I feel like those could not be more true words for you, Pile 2. You are most definitely ready for this journey. You are most definitely ready to get out of this situation and to fly and to spread your wings. And remember that even though you're in a challenging situation, you can still continue to spread your wings and fly. The only person who can ever truly hold us back is ourselves. Even if we're dealing with difficult people, we're giving them power to hold us back. So make sure you're always taking back your power, okay? I'm so sorry you're dealing with someone this challenging. I know that it is so overwhelming and extremely exhausting, but I hope that you're celebrating yourself and reminding yourself you're doing an amazing job, okay? You have done so much more than most people could. They would have given up long ago, and yet you're still somehow trudging along, and I'm proud of you. You're like the little engine that could. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. So you know what? Today, if this was your reading, put the little train, the steam engine emoji down below and say, I think I can. I think I can. I know I can. I know I can. I am. I am. I am. I am safe. I am free. I spread my wings and fly. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box. I'd like to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for giving us this very overwhelmingly profound message today. And please remember, you are so valuable. You matter, and you are worth all good things in your life. Pile number 2. Until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with the sun on it, or perhaps you felt called to this feather, or maybe you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on the gossip about you. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're new here, thanks so much for joining us. I want to let you know that your time, your energy, and your presence are a true gift and a blessing. And I'm deeply honored to be here sharing it with you today. I do things differently here on this channel, so there might be triggering statements that arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, while keeping in mind that triggers can be a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journeys. If the message happens to resonate with you, it'd mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And with that being said, I just want to put out there that we are tapping into how other people are seeing you, what they're saying about you, and that is in no way, shape, or form the truth as to who you are. Channeled message I did receive for you, Pile 3, is this is someone that's coming in that believes that you have unfinished business together. Like, they don't believe that you're really gone, or they don't believe that you're permanently gone. But I do feel like they're feeling guilty because they did say things about you that... Okay, so what's coming in is that I didn't mean to say these things about Pile 3, and I know how that sounds because it's like, well, you had a choice not to participate in what was being said. But I feel like they were not necessarily coerced, but I do feel like they were just following the crowd. So they could have been talking to people, like you guys share a similar friend group, or there were people in their friend group who knew about you and they were talking smack about you. And I feel like they were kind of going along with the flow because they didn't want to seem like the oddball out. And I feel like we're going to get some further information on that today, what source wants you to know in regards to that. But just, I feel like I need to tell you to keep an open mind as we go into this reading for some reason, and I'm just going to say it at the front here, okay? So please, as we're doing that, remember these are just messages that I'm feeling that are coming through from source, and it is just a general reading, okay? So what's the gossip about you, Pile 3? What's the gossip about you, pile number 3? No. Oh, I'm done already starting out. We've got the Sun, Aquarius, and the 11th house. Is this someone that you were a friend with? Or someone that you had a community built with? Like, this could have been someone that you hung out with a lot. Like, I don't know why I'm getting this. Like, maybe you went to festivals together. Like, the music industry is coming in really strongly here. And so you knew a lot of the same artists. This could have been like the art community, and you knew a lot of this, again, the same artists. Like, you guys knew a lot of the same people. You knew a lot of the same crowd because you visited the same scenes. This could have been, maybe you guys club hopped a lot when you were younger, and you guys, again, you just knew a lot of the same people. It doesn't have to be anything like that either. It could be anything, really, where you guys just end up knowing a lot of the same crowd. Like, you have a lot of the same interests, or you guys do a lot of the same things, and you met through doing the same things. And that's what it feels like here with the 11th house, right? Community energy and friendships, and it could be an online community. You know, what are those? I just remember the app called Meetup, I think, or Meets. It's either Meets or Meetup. I can't remember, but it's, you type in like your interests, and then it tells you what kind of people are meeting up around you. So like, if you're somebody who likes to run, but you like to run with a person because it helps you pass the time, right? Like, you could put in jogging or running, and it'll take you to groups in your area that do stuff like that. Like, they have little marathons that they run, or little challenges that they do each and every day or once a week or whatever it is. Like, maybe you met through some kind of community like that, or like a skating community. Maybe you guys are both skateboarders or something like that. Like, there's some really specific energies coming in today. So whatever it is, it just feels like you guys met each other through some sort of a community, or you met like in life. You guys met in life, but then you guys started hanging out and kept running into each other through community activities, right? So it could be even church community. It could be you know, summer camp. This could have been, like, that's what it feels like. But with Aquarius energy, I do feel like this was somebody that you considered a friend at some point, and I do feel like you were very intrigued by them, and they're very intrigued by you, because you both were very unique, very different, independent, and free-spirited people. Like, you weren't afraid to be different, and you guys felt comfortable being different with each other, because you both encouraged that for each other. Like, it wasn't something like, oh, you should be this or you should be that. And I feel like that's why for some of you, what I said at the beginning, like, it's really hard to believe that. Like, you had a choice not to participate in gossip, but you still did. I just feel like this person felt like they were backed up against a wall. Like, they were going to lose the friends that they thought were worth having in their lives, and so it was easier losing one person rather than the group of people that they were around. It's not making it right or wrong. That's not what I'm trying to say here, because, you know, everybody has a choice. We're all human. We all make mistakes, and it's not to condone their actions or anything. I just feel like this person really tried to make the best decision with what they had in this time that they did it, but there's a lot of guilt that's coming in here. I do feel like this person does lead a group, but when they see you, they still see how unique you are. And I feel like your unique self is what they bashed on, right? Like, how independent you are, how outlandish your ideas might seem to some, or how unorthodox you are. Like, these are things that they've said to people. We're going to dig a little bit more into it from the cards, but I do feel like this is just a very clear message coming in. They feel like you have some unfinished business. I feel like this could have been someone who ghosted you along the way, and you're just kind of like, you know what? Like, they made it very clear that they don't want me in their lives, so, you know, why? You could have been a temptation for this person as well, and they were trying to maintain a romantic relationship. Yeah, and so they could have been manipulated by their romantic partner, or they could have been manipulated by their friend group. I do feel like this person is very easily influenced by, or at some point has been very easily influenced by the majority of people around them. And so it's like they succumb to peer pressure very easily. All right, let's see. What's the gossip about you, pile 3? I do feel like they've noticed that you're not the same person that you once were, and how maybe they approached you with something that was really immature. Like maybe they said, oh, you know, like, let's be F buddies because I can't have anything serious. And you're like, are you kidding me? Like, that's not going to fly. And you know that's not going to fly with me because we've talked about that. Maybe you are demisexual or something like that. And so it's like you really need to have that connection with somebody, and you can't just... It can't just be like a one-time thing, or it can't just be like something that's fleeting. Like you need to have that connection, right? And even if you're not, like that could be just something that's important to you. Yeah, there's something that this person like was really greedy about, and because they were greedy about it and you declined them their request, like they're telling people that you're like prude, or that you are like you're not who you say you are. Like that's what they told people. I feel like this is in the past though. This is a very interesting reading that this would come out, because it feels like past energy. It could be present. It could be, but it just really feels like past energy to me right now. And I feel like they've told people that, you know, you're the one that made this request. Like if it was like a one-night stand or something like that, that you requested a one-night stand and they were like, yeah, sure, let's do it. Let's have some fun. Bumping uglies, and then you basically led them on, like you teased them, and that's why they decided to let you go. And so it's like this conversation about how like, oh, you're prude, like don't get involved with pile number 3. They're just gonna lead you on. They're not gonna actually get involved with you. Like it's just gonna be a whole ordeal. Yeah. I feel like excuse me, for others of you, with the Popes coming out, yeah, this is, oh my gosh, this person, no, I want to smack this person. Ugh. Okay, sorry, not sorry, actually, I'm just gonna say it, because this person, that's the problem. So it could also have to do with your spirituality. You may really resonate with the collective message that I did at the beginning of the reading, which you'll find timestamped down below in the description box if you feel called to watching it. This person also, like, maybe they grew up very religious and you're very spiritual, or vice versa, right? But I do feel like that you're the one that's very spiritual here with the Popes on the bottom. And so they were talking about, they were gossiping about how you were telling people that you were gifted, like you're very intuitive, or you're psychic, or you're psychic medium, and you have this gift. And they were like telling people like those things don't exist. Why are they telling me that they have this gift? Like they barely believe in it in themselves, and yet they're telling me that they have this gift. But then time and time again, your gift was proven to be real, and they're like, they can't deny it now. And I feel like they're inserting their foot into their mouth all the way up to their thigh right now, because people who they've told about this, right, saying like, oh, well, you barely believed in it yourself, like it doesn't exist, it's not real. Like I feel like those people have also been watching you, and they're seeing that your gift is real, and they're like, I thought you said it wasn't real. I thought you said that they weren't psychic. I thought that you said that they weren't intuitive. I thought that you said that they didn't have this gift. So what the heck? And so now they back themselves into a very unique corner, and they're going to have to face it. They have to face it. That source is not going to let this go. But also I feel like the thing is that they did finally eventually open up to people that they love you. They eventually told people that they want to be with you. They want to have a connection with you. I don't feel like there's a connection here. There's definitely some sort of separation here. It feels like someone ghosted someone. Like there's just space. That's what I feel. There's just space. And I feel like this is also very irritating to you, because it's like they had an opportunity to tell me when I was ready to receive them, and now I just don't care anymore. Like I don't care if they're in my life. I don't care if they're around. Like it's something that, like, I feel like it's just they hurt you, and you healed from that hurt, and now it's like you let go. You've surrendered to it, and it's not about having them any longer. But you know, it's like they're getting messages from source that you were the person that they were always asking for. And I feel like part of them knew that, but also part of them was definitely, again, peer pressure. The Four of Swords talks about peer pressure. And I felt that was so strong. It's like this person is definitely influenced by peer pressure. And so I feel like who they've told that they love you and they have feelings for you, like these people are absolutely admonished. Is that the right word? Because that's the word I just heard. They're admonished because they're feeling like, how could you be so cruel to someone and then turn around and like totally deny what it was that you were saying about them? And it's almost as if this person needed to be mean to you. You know, like when boys are mean to girls that they like in elementary school, like that's the same energy that this person was in. It's like they didn't realize they needed to show up as an adult here. I mean, who doesn't think that we need to show up as an adult when we're adults? But okay, you know, that's cool. You're going to show up in the energy you're going to show up in. And that's exactly what they did. They showed up in this very childish, like, oh, if I push pile 3 away, they're going to always come back to me. And you stayed gone. And now, like, it's being proven, whatever your talent, your gift was, maybe you're a singer. Like, again, this could have been like you were building up audience for singing. It doesn't have to be necessarily a psychic gift. This could be a talented gift that you have that is driven by divine intervention and divine inspiration, right? So like maybe you write your own songs, or you write poetry, or you're an artist, like you paint, and you're divinely inspired though. That's what this feels like. Whatever it is that your gift is, it's very divinely inspired. And they always thought that like you were never going to go very far, and yet you've taken it further than anybody ever expected you to take it. And I feel like that's what they talked about a lot, was like how you were never going to go very far with it. Yeah, you weren't going to have, look, temptation. You were some sort of temptation for them. That's it. Okay, this is the thing, like they really, really did it in. They're so contradictory. That's why I'm mad, like, too, because it's like, this is a very contradictory energy. It's like, I love you, I hate you. 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 I love you. You know, like, it's like that type of energy. They're like saying like, oh, you know, they're amazing. Like, I feel like I could have a really good life with them, but they're terrible for me because they're temptation. They're everything that I've ever wanted, but they come in the wrong package, or they come in the wrong belief system, or they come in the wrong skin color, they come in the wrong background, or, you know, whatever it is. Like, there's something very judgmental here about this person. You come in the wrong size, you come in the wrong gender, you know, like all of a sudden it's like so hyper focused on this one thing that they want to make the deal breaker. And yet they're telling everybody too, like how you're a dream come true, while at the same time they're trying to tarnish your name. It's like this person is just not okay. And again, this feels like past energy. Okay. I want you to know this feels like past energy. It doesn't feel like this person's doing it right now, because I feel like this person has been shown a lot about this situation. We're actually going to look with the Osho Zen, what's happening with this person now, because I feel like this is going to help us better understand what's going on. What's happening with this person now, Source? Can you give us an idea about what's happening with this person now, please? They're just very contradictory. Like, they want to have a connection with you, whatever that means. Yeah, Source is playing... like, it's almost like they're playing catch up in this person's life. Like, what they've given out, they have to go through now. And they're being shown that you were what they were asking for all along. And there's a lot of guilt. This person has so much guilt on their consciousness. Like, they're having to face the music. And they're having to face the fact that they really did you dirty. Although it's not to your face, the fact... like, I feel like you trusted this person. Like, if this was a friend, like, you trusted this person to be loyal to you. And at least if they couldn't say anything positive about you, then don't say anything at all. Like, don't go around with the antics of what people are saying about me, right? But they didn't do that. I feel like that's something that was really hard for you if you found out about it. Like, there's a deep kind of betrayal here where you're just like, I just don't think I could trust this person again like that. And they're going to have to spend maybe their life trying to figure out a way to apologize for this, or to to gain trust from you again, if that's even a possibility. I'm not here to say it has to be. That's not my job, right? Like, you have to trust your intuition when it comes to this. But I feel like what Source is showing is like they had to go through something where they were put in that type of situation themselves, where they had who they thought was loyal do the exact same thing to them that they did to you. And now they're having to face that fate, like, head on, how it felt from your perspective. And they don't, of course they don't like it, but now they're also racked with guilt and shame. Bottom of the deck, past lives, the moon energy. Yeah, look, in the sun. Okay, so this is interesting with the moon and the sun. I'm going to take them both here, because this is like somebody's divine masculine or somebody's divine feminine. It feels like, if that's something that you resonate with, it doesn't have to. But this is definitely like someone who, when you guys were on good terms, you balanced each other out really well. Like, it was the yin and the yang, and not necessarily in a romantic way, right? This could have just been like, this is my friend. Like, this is somebody that I trust. This is somebody that I'm glad that I have in my life. And they felt like they also had someone like that in their lives outside of you. Like, they probably relied on someone else outside of you. But what ended up happening is that the person who they thought was replacing that role with you turned out to be a devil, or turned out to be someone very manipulative or narcissistic. You know, when I say a devil, it's just somebody who is projecting their own internal demons onto somebody else, right? And I feel like that's something that they really had to struggle with, because they were made to face exactly what they did to you in the past. And the fact that the moon came out, it's just also affirming that this is past energy that they went through. And so they're facing that now. And they're trying to heal from that. And they're trying to heal from what they did themselves. They know that there's not necessarily a possibility that you'll forgive them. But they also have to recognize that I have to forgive myself for the actions that I took, right? We're all human. We all make mistakes. Like, that's just part of our journey. Some are really, really, really bad mistakes. And some leave us feeling like, how could I have ever done that to someone that I especially cared about? But, you know, it's just sometimes the way the cookie crumbles. It's just, we can't stop the decisions that we made from the past once they've already been made. And I feel like that's just it. Like, they really thought that they were going to gain the upper hand in whatever your connection was. And there was a sense of control here. Like, they wanted to control the outcome, but instead they let go of the best possible friend that they had in their life. Somebody that actually truly cared about them, saw them, and mattered to them. And what they were replaced with a lot of people around them that were feeding their ego, or just in this place of subconsciously draining them too. I feel like I want to flip this one over first. Yeah, the Ace of Swords with consciousness. So a lot of truth to the situation here. A lot of clarity. I feel like this gave you a lot of clarity. Yeah, this is something that you have definitely healed from yourself. So Source is, I feel like the reason why Source is bringing this up in this reading in the way that they're bringing it up is just to remind you that you've overcome the betrayal of this person. When at one point it was so difficult, and I feel like at one time you prayed, please help me overcome this. Like, you didn't know if it was going to be a possibility for you to let go of what had happened with this person. And it's something that has definitely come full circle for you. It's something that you have been able to come to terms with and to surrender it. You've gifted it to Source. You said, I can't carry this burden anymore, and I have learned to forgive and let go. And that forgiveness and letting go is like, it also allowed what they chose to do to come full circle back to them. And I do feel like they're in this era where they realize, like, there's nothing they can say to you to actually make what they did to you okay. But I feel like if they came forward and talked to you, like, you would already tell them, like, I forgave you a long time ago. There's nothing you need to say to me, because I'm not going to sit around and listen to it, because there's no reason for me to. You're just trying to reopen old wounds. And it's done. It's over with. And so you've grown so much from this situation. You have learned such valuable wisdom from being brokenhearted in this way. And that wisdom was to always protect yourself. And it was to trust like that, right? Like trusting when you were getting notions or intuitive nudges that someone wasn't being honest about you behind your back. Like I feel like that's something that was really hard for you because you saw the good in this person no matter what. And they mirrored that good back to you when you guys were together because they felt that truth. But when you weren't there, they were also mirroring back to other people the same energy that was getting mirrored to them. And so that projection became a very real reality for them. And that's why they didn't realize just how much it was going to hurt you. Like how much their silence actually cut. And now I feel like you've been silent from them for a really long time, and they're feeling the serrated edge for sure. Like they're feeling it on their heart, on their soul, on their consciousness. Like it's just a very real thing for them now. And maybe you're like, good, they deserve to feel that. And remember, that still is coming from our emotional ego when we're trying to wish what people did to us onto them. Like really all we can do for a person that's hurt us is just, I wish you well and I hope things work out for you, but it doesn't mean that I gotta be in your life, right? And if you want to bring this person back into your life, that's entirely up to you. That's not what this reading is saying. It's not what this reading is inferring, but I just have to put it out there that it's so important for you to listen to your intuition when it comes to this person and trust that fully, right? So let's see what else comes out for you, pile 3. Just a heavy energy today. Like, I mean, in these readings, they're always going to carry some weight to them, but it's just, I never know exactly where it's going to go. The 6th house, establishing a foundation, health, daily life, and practical details. This is talking about maintaining your routines. It's important for you to maintain your routines because that's when you feel the most invigorated and at ease and balanced in your life. And that's something that's really important for you. I do feel like eventually this person may reach out to you. That's something, wow, okay. That's a lot of cards, okay. I do feel like this person's going to reach out to you because I feel like they're not going to be able to sit with this energy for too long. It's like eating away at them for some reason. And you know, it's like, again, our judgment of self is always worse than others' judgments of us. So we have the Fool, is fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at the absurdity and the hypocrisy. And I feel like that's also something that you do. Like, again, you have definitely got this energy of at least surrendering. Many of you have the energy of forgetting, not forgetting, but forgiving and letting go. But you guys all do have this surrender energy around you. The Shadow is using humor to wound rather than to liberate, denial of your emotional truth. So yeah, definitely they were using humor as a means to deny their emotional truth when it came to you. The Artist energy, again, I was getting that energy really strongly for your reading. Something artistic or something a gift wise about you, music and such. So we have the expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the 5 senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. And the Shadow is using talent as an excuse to mistreat others, posing as a starving artist to elicit pity. So I do feel like they were using their, like, there's a sense of where they do have some leadership, but I don't feel like they're the ones that are in control of others. I feel like they're placed, it's almost like they're a figurehead, right? So like they're the face of a company. They're the face of an artist group. They're the face of whatever this community is. It's because they have good looks or good posture, or they have good composure, whatever it is. It's like everybody's forced them into this space of leadership, but they're actually a puppet for someone who's pulling strings behind the scenes. And I feel like that's something like they're using their supposed talent as a means, or they did at some point, to mistreat you. And that's something that's really challenging too, because it's like, you know, they're not even fit for the position that they're in. And yet at some point they let it get to their heads. And now I feel like they're definitely being humbled along the journey, because Source is showing you, like, you were placed here by people who only wanted someone to control, someone to manipulate, someone to do their bidding for them. And I feel like that is exactly from the same people that they felt like they had a camaraderie with. Detective energy, great powers in observation and intuition, desire to seek out the truth. And that's something that you've always done. Okay, we have shadow attributes is voyeurism and falsifying information. We heard that earlier, you know, they falsified information about you. Like, they didn't share the truth about something that had happened. They said it was you that was creating problems in the situation when it was actually them. Yeah, and then we have the guide. Represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. So again, they can't deny the fact that you're connected, or that you have guides that are helping you through your journey, or that you have this amazing artistic ability that lets you see into the space, the ripples of space is what I'm hearing. Okay, and the shadows places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. And I do feel like they're very materialistic. Whoever this person was, very materialistic, wanting praise, wanting recognition, wanting their ego stroked, like, and for you, when it was with you, even though they appreciated being honest with you and being vulnerable with you, in some state, like, that scared the living bejeebus out of them. And that's why I feel like they also ran away, if you will. Like, I'm not going to say they're a runner or anything like that, but I do feel like they ran away from the connection with you, because they were forced to face parts of themselves that they would have rather kept buried, but that were being kept buried by this other by the social group that you guys may have shared. Air, take a bird's eye view. Yeah, so seeing this from a higher perspective, I feel like you've done that. Like, I feel like you recognize that this person's in control, or like being controlled by others, being manipulated by others. Like, I feel like you know of at least one person. I keep seeing one person, like, putting their hands around their neck. It's just, again, it's metaphorically. It's just like pressuring them into, you do what I say you do, otherwise, or else. That type of energy. I feel like you knew who this person was before, and you knew that something, like, they were going to be a thorn in both your guys' side. But also I feel like this person was one of the main reasons that you had to say goodbye when you said goodbye, regardless if this person ghosted you or not. Like, there's this other energy here where it's like you recognize just the type of intent that this person had, and they knew that you knew, and they didn't like you. And you also knew that this person had a lot of say and control in your friend, I'm just going to say your friend's life, because every time you saw them together, like, this person definitely held high influence over your friend. And so you recognize that early on. And I feel like that's also something that they're very guilty about, or they're very ashamed by, because it's like, how could someone outside recognize this person's intentions with me and I was mixed up in it and didn't even know? Well, it's because you weren't emotionally involved. Yeah, what do you need to release? Waning moon. So I do feel like if you haven't released the situation as of yet, like, you're definitely in the process of deeply releasing it. And I feel like they're feeling that severing of the connection to, like, the absolute severing of the connection, because you just no longer can carry it. And that's okay. It's okay. You're not required to carry it, right? You're not required to invite them back into your life. You're not required to go back to past situations, right? So we have passionate love, thorns, and short with rose. This was something that was short. What is that? Every rose has its thorn. Yeah, like, it was something that was beautiful between you two. There was a lot of beautiful moments, but they were just sullied in the end, I feel, because of what had happened. You're just like, why couldn't they just not say anything at all? I keep hearing that. Why did they have to say anything? Why couldn't they just say nothing at all? Like, if you can't say something nice, just don't say anything at all. Like, I keep hearing these lines coming through, and it's like, I feel like it's just because they were so pressured by other people. Like, they felt like they had to. And it's not like they wanted to, it's just they found themselves saying it before they actually felt like they could have a choice. And it was really, it doesn't, again, it's not to condone their actions. That's not what this is. It's just recognizing that this person is really truly influenced by some shady people, by some very difficult people. Yeah, look, letting go. Didn't I say that? I said that you're in a state of pure surrender. It's definitely the energy that's coming through here. Letting go, surrender, open up, or open, give up, and release. So you're definitely in this state of surrender. You're no longer letting this person have control over you or have a hold over you like they once did, which is a very powerful place to come. Yeah, so we have reconcile, repair, cure, understanding, and concession. I can't say that you guys will reconcile this situation, but what I will say here is that I do feel like this is confirmation that this person is very much wanting to come back in and say something. And I feel like that's why Source said at the beginning of the reading to keep an open mind, because this person may need to say something to you that is going to be the very thing that actually helps you to move on from them. Or, you know, maybe it'll be the thing that you always needed to hear to come back into their lives. It's going to be different for everybody, right? There's no, I can't say it's going to be one way or the other. I'm just saying that's why I feel like Source said keep an open mind. So, and especially with open here, you know, you have surrender, open. And so I feel like it's just reminding you to stay open to what can and might happen. And, you know, let yourself truly surrender to the situation itself. Hold on just a second. Oh, you're standing on the table. There you go. Okay, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. We've got, yeah, ring. Wow. Wedding, token, bond. Yeah, this is somebody who you cared about this person a lot. And I feel like this may have been, again, like if you resonated with being a divine masculine or divine feminine, this is somebody you definitely wanted in your life. I feel like this card wants to be seen. Yeah, so we have risk-taking, attack, go ahead, and glory favors the brave. I feel like you made it known that you cared about them. You wanted to get to know each other deeper, but something happened along the way. And I feel like for you, it's not that you don't care about this person any longer. I feel like we always love the people that we love. It's just that when things like this happen, our love begins to transform because we have to save ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves, and that's why it transforms the way that it does. But I do feel like you guys will always be bound to each other because you're definitely beneath the surface at a soul level. You're kindred souls, even if you're not kindred souls in the physical, right? Which can happen. Like there can be so many different paths that we take that we don't feel like we're kindred souls, but that doesn't mean that that's not true. Like in other lifetimes you might have gotten along. In other lifetimes there might have been good things that happened between you two, but in this lifetime there was somebody that was pulling strings when it came to this person, and they didn't have the strength to say no. I feel like I want to get these ones first. So yeah, we have single, isolation, independent, and alone. I feel like you are possibly single here, and I feel like right now they're going through a very isolating stage in their life. And again, that's something that I feel like they're coming to terms with, how they acted when it came to what they said about you. To purify, clean up, sweep, clean, empty, and organize. So you've had to purify yourself from what you expected from this connection. Yeah, to take care of your health here was the main thing. Exercise, diet, sleep, mental relaxation, and to know your limits, the boundaries that you set. And if this person comes back in, I feel like this is just a reminder to set those boundaries and don't be upset. Like, don't feel guilty about that. Like, you have to take care of yourself. That's the first and foremost thing, because I feel like this is maybe one person who had free access to you where you didn't feel like you had to have boundaries because they never actually showed you that there was a need for boundaries, right? So we have stellium, stop obsessing. Yeah, so this could be that they're obsessing over you now, but I do feel like you're being given additional support from the divine when it comes to this situation to help you surrender. And don't let your pride get in the way. Again, with that keep an open mind energy that we felt at the very beginning of the reading, this is just reminding us not to let our emotional ego, what I was saying earlier, like, oh, good, they deserve whatever they get, right? That's coming from our emotional ego. Even when people hurt us, it might feel like we're justified in saying that to someone, like they deserve everything that they get, but that's still us wanting to feel validated for the pain that we went through, which means that we still have healing to do. And so with don't let pride get in your way, like there's something that's coming from this situation that Source just wants to prep you for, and it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be a surprise for everybody, good or bad. It's just going to be a surprise, something you're going to have to be along the ride for. Yeah, 11th house again. Friends, like-minded groups, humanitarian beliefs. So the last card, again, wrap the reading up full circle. We started with the 11th house. I had that feeling before we even rolled the dice that this was friends, and then we wrap it up with the 11th house again. So this is definitely someone, I feel like you know exactly who this is, what happened between the two of you, and Source is reminding you there's just something here that's going to happen that's either going to help you let go fully, surrender fully. It's going to give you a new lease on life. It's just going to open your heart again. And again, that doesn't mean necessarily inviting this person in. So we're going to take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book. We're going to see what it says. Wow, willpower. What a powerful card to come through. You could have Taurus highly aspect in your chart here. You could have Taurus in the 11th house especially coming in. But let's see what willpower says here. Yeah, exactly what I was saying with the boundaries. It says it's time to channel your willpower through fierce dedication. You have set your objectives, and by applying discipline, commitment, and courage, you will achieve your goals. At times, your target may seem far away, or people might try to convince you to adjust your expectations, but you alone know the power that you hold within. Stay confident in your abilities and focus on the next step in front of you. The dominant presence of the bull is helping you through the tests of your strength and resilience. The victory is within reach. And the affirmation is, I persevere. Yeah, so the thing is here is to remind yourself that you already overcome the hardest part of this. And that was working through the pain of what had happened with them. Which is why Source didn't want to talk about or focus mostly on what it was that they're saying about you. It's just reminding you that you have the willpower to overcome anything. You're so much stronger than you're giving yourself credit for. And to remember to exert your willpower. If this person comes back into your life and you don't want them, that's okay. If they come back into your life and you want them to come back into your life, that's okay. There is no right or wrong. There is only what's right or wrong for you, and that's the only thing that matters, okay? So Pile 3, I'm sorry you had to go through something like this, but I'm so proud of you for healing and for overcoming something that was so heavy. This is what I see for you here today. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little bull emoji down below and say, today I exert my own willpower. I stand strong in the boundaries that I set, knowing that I am the one who protects me. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you will find everything you need in the description box. So with that being said, I'd like to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very profound reading today. And remember that you matter. You are an amazing person and you are beautiful. And don't ever discredit yourself no matter what. Okay, no matter if this is a kindred soul or not for you, no matter if this is somebody you thought was going to be there for forever, please don't ever discredit yourself. You are worthy of having that ride or die for life. And I know in my heart of hearts that you're going to find them if you haven't already. Okay, so until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye.